We met where the tide forgot to pull. The sky was gold, the air was full of things we didn't dare to name, but felt like fire, felt like flame. You looked at me, then looked away, but silence said what lips won't say. And in that glance, the world stood wide with waves I couldn't hope to hide. I held the ocean in your eyes, 1,000 tides I couldn't fight. You were the storm, you were the shore, you were the deep I longed for more. No need for maps, no need for skies. I lost myself in all your eyes, and though the moment came in size, I held the ocean in your eyes. We spoke in salt and soft laments, in stolen shade and white tents. You traced your dreams across the sand, and I forgot what fear demands. You laughed, and it broke through my chest like sea foam spilling with unrest. We danced like secrets, slow and light, then kissed beneath the pale moonlight. I held the ocean in your eyes, with every blink a wave would rise. You were the cure, you were the cage, you were the storm, I'd still engage. I didn't swim, I didn't sink, I only breathed what you would think. And in your look my whole heart lies. I held the ocean in your eyes. Now summer fades, the nights grow cold, but some love doesn't just grow old. It stays like salt against your skin, a tide you never quite let in. I held the ocean in your eyes, and though we live in separate skies, I still replay that sunset blue, where I was me and you were you. We didn't stay, we didn't try, but oh, that look still gets me high. I'll drown again in no disguise. I held the ocean in your eyes. So if you ever feel the breeze of something lost in memories, just know in me your love still sighs. I held the ocean in your eyes. Your hand was cold, the sand was warm, the tide came in without a storm. We walked in silence past the lights, our shadows tangled in the night. I wasn't sure what this could mean, but you looked at me like I was seen. And there beneath the stars we spoke, then we kissed where waves broke. We kissed where waves broke, hearts unsure, the ocean wide, but we were pure. Your breath was salt, your lips were slow, and time forgot where it should go. No promise made, no need to speak, just water rising past our feet. The world was quiet, love awoke when we kissed, waves broke. feel that moment like it's breathing real. It wasn't planned, it wasn't fate, but I would still relive that state of love that bloomed before it spoke when we kissed where waves broke. Now summer fades and seasons drift, but that one night I still uplift. For though we lost what we evoked, we kissed where waves broke. It started with sand between our toes, laughing like the ocean only knows. Your hand found mine without a word, like silence louder than I'd heard. We stayed out past the curfew moon, counting hearts that beat too soon. You said let's never fall apart, and I believe with all my heart. We promised the stars like they never fade or fall too far. Sit forever under satellite, build love beneath the warm twilight. You traced forever on my skin, and I let all the light rush in. We didn't think of broken parts, we only knew. We promised the stars. Your hoodie smelled of sunscreen days. We kissed through all the firework haze. I said I'd write, you swore you'd call, but summer isn't built for fall. We drifted like the tide we chased, memories we couldn't quite replay. Still every night I close my eyes and see you lit in starlit skies. We promised the stars dreams we couldn't hold, like sand that slips when squeezed too bold. You looked at me like we would last, like futures weren't tied to the past. But even suns forget to spark, though we meant it. We promised the stars. Maybe love just shines, then goes like meteors the sky outgrows, but still I keep that summer's glow. And every night I walk alone. We promised the stars, no fear, no doubts, no final scar. Even though the night grew still, I feel you in the starlight still. Love too bright to fit in lines, burned in all our younger time. We didn't know how far was far, we just believed. We promised the stars. And if I ever see your face beneath the sky we used to chase, I'll smile through whatever ours. 'Cause once we loved, and we promised the stars. heard him first before I saw a laugh that melted every flaw. He spoke like summer touched his tongue, like golden hour had just begun. The air turned warm when he was near. Each syllable erased my fear. I didn't know what we'd become, but his voice carried the sun. His voice carried the sun. His voice carried the sun. He talked about the world he dreamed in ways that made the quiet gleam. He told me things he'd never share with someone who was barely there. I listened close, held every sound like they could lift me off the ground. And even now the night feels spun with echoes of his voice and sun. His voice carried the sun through every dusk and every run. He'd sing to no one, hum the breeze, and I'd forget what pain could be. He never touched, he never tried, but still he lived behind my eyes. A boy who spoke and I would run. His voice carried the sun. Now when I walk the quiet shore, I swear I hear him even more. The way he said you'll be just fine still lingers deep in every line. His voice carried the sun long after summer days were done. It warms the parts he couldn't stay. It lights the corners he took away. I don't regret what we became. His words still set my skin to flame. I loved him once, I wasn't the one, but his voice carried the sun. And when the world forgets to shine, I close my eyes and press rewind. He's still not here, the light's still on, but in my chest, his voice carries the sun. She lit a spark in borrowed air with sun-warmed skin and wind-swept hair. She moved like dusk, soft but alive. With every glance my soul would dive. We met where silence kissed the shore, and every second begged for more. But even then I felt the heat. She was a fire I couldn't keep. She was a fire I couldn't keep. Too wild, too bright, too far, too deep. She burned with stars beneath her skin and vanished like she'd never been. No promises, no final word, just ashes in the things I heard. She danced in dreams, then slipped through sleep. She was a fire I couldn't keep. She never said she'd stay for long, just hummed along to every song. Her laughter filled the summer air, but never claimed she would be there. I held her once like chasing flame, knowing full well she wouldn't remain. She kissed me slow, then ran with speed. She was a fire I couldn't keep. She was a fire I couldn't keep, too honest for a heart that's weak. She gave me nights I still replay, then melted with the break of day. She never cried, she never lied, just burned me warm and walked outside. Now I just watch where embers sleep. She was a fire I couldn't keep. And some loves aren't meant to last, like lightning flashing much too fast. But when they go, they leave a mark that glows forever in the dark. She was a fire I couldn't keep, still haunts the corners where I weep. She gave me more than I could hold, then turned to smoke when nights got cold. She didn't stay, but she was true, and somehow that still burns me through. She left with light, no promises to reap. She was a fire I couldn't keep. So when the sky begins to glow and summer whispers soft and low, I think of her and memories leap. She was a fire I couldn't keep. I came back when the sun went low. Same wooden board, same ocean glow. The wind still sings your favorite tune, and the sky still blushes like that June. Your footprints vanished with the tide, but I swear I still feel you by my side. The laughter stuck between the beams still echoes soft in all my dreams. The pier still feels like you, in every creek and sunset hue. I walk alone but not quite clear, 'cause your ghost still lingers here. Salt in the air, a distant smile, and suddenly I'm back a while. Yeah, the pier still feels like you, like time. creek and sunset hue. I walk alone but not quite clear, 'cause your ghost still lingers here. Salt in the air, a distant smile, and suddenly I'm back a while. Yeah, the pier still feels like you, like time forgot what we went through.
So I'll sit and watch the waves roll in, pretend you're next to me again. And though you're gone and life moved too,
The pier still feels like you. You never said you'd call again, and still I watch the clouds pretend that maybe you'd appear somehow, like dust forgetting to know how. We didn't plan, we didn't name, but something soft still lit the flame. You smiled and I forgot to breathe, then summer left with you beneath. We promised nothing, still I waited by the waves where silence traded. Every look we couldn't hold, for memories that won't grow old. We said no words, just laughed instead, but I replay what you never said. No lines, no vows, still complicated. We promised nothing, still I waited. The beach is cleared, the towels dry. The sun forgets, but not the sky. Your shadow lingers on the sand, like something carved without a hand. I told myself you felt it too, but maybe I just needed you to mean a little more than now. And now just echoes anyhow. We promised nothing, still I waited in the breeze where time was faded. No directions, no goodbye, just your back beneath the sky. You gave a glance and turned away, but I kept coming back each day to where our silent hope was baited. We promised nothing, still I waited. It's strange what hearts decide to keep, what breaks us wide, what buries deep. A touch, a laugh, a careless stare becomes a ghost that's always there. We promised nothing, still I waited through the storms my hope created. I knew the truth but made it bend, just to feel you in the end. You didn't lie, you didn't stay, but I still search the tides each day for love unspoken, understated. We promised nothing, still I waited. And maybe someday you'll recall the summer night that caught it all. Not in kisses, not in faded, but in the melting like the sky turned flame. No hello, but I knew your name. Your smile was heat on freckled skin, a summer storm about to begin.
Your laugh had firecracker sound, and when you danced, the world spun around. You wore the sun like something true. July was written all over you. July was written all over you. From the way you breathe to the things you do. Golden hour lived in your hair. Barefoot joy without a care. You never said forever, no. But my heart took root and wouldn't go. Like waves that crashed and turned to blue. July was written all over you. You never needed maps to roam, but made my restless soul feel home. We stayed up late with cherry lips and dreams spilled out in solar drips. You kissed me once and called it fate. I memorized your every trait. You left before the month was through, but July still clings to all of you. July was written all over you. From the melting popsicles to your mood. Every sunset knew your name. Every song burned like a flame. You said you'd leave before the fall, but didn't say you'd take it all. Now even silence feels like truth. July was written all over you. Now I chase that golden trace in strangers' laughs, in empty space, but no one's ever shone that bright. No one's ever felt that right. July was written all over you. In every word, in every view. I still feel heat where we once stood. Your voice still burns beneath my hood. I let you go, I know I must, but summer still feel like your touch. The season fades, but never you. July was written all over you. And maybe next year I'll forget, but haven't managed that just yet. 'Cause even now in skies so new, July still reads like you.
headed somewhere else that day. Windows down, just miles to fade. A playlist humming soft and slow. No plans to stop, no place to go. But then you laughed through static air. A sound too sharp, too bright, too rare. You waved like fate with nothing more. And my heart took a detour. My heart took a detour off the line, swerving to something undefined. You weren't the map, you weren't the goal, but suddenly you filled my soul. I should have passed, I should have gone, but somehow you became my song. No signs, no lights, just something sure. My heart took a detour.
We shared a soda in the heat. Your feet on dash, my pulse off beat. We chased the dust through back road turns, while every second slow burns.
You told me stories, half a grin, and I forgot where I'd been. The road kept winding more and more as my heart took a detour. My heart took a detour, lost in you. No straight away, just sky so blue. You weren't a plan, you weren't a part, but somehow slipped into my heart. You traced a path I'd never known and made a stranger feel like home. No destination, just a lure. My heart took a detour. Now every road I try to find leads back to that unmarked sign, the place where everything stood still, but somehow moved me, somehow thrilled. My heart took a detour, made me stay when every reason said don't stray. You changed the course with one soft glance and gave the stillness room to dance. It wasn't smart, it wasn't planned, but now I'm here and still I stand. No regrets, just love so pure. My heart took a detour. And maybe roads will split again, but I'll remember where we've been. One summer, one you, one open door, where my heart took a detour. You left before the heat could fade, before the night forgot the shade. The tide rolled in with quiet grace, but couldn't wash away your face. The streets still echo with your shoes, like hearts that don't know how to lose. I said I'm fine, I played the part, but your shadow lingered in my heart.
You always said the sun forgives, but never taught me how to live without your voice in every breeze, or your name tangled in the leaves. I smiled when people said your name, but nothing ever felt the same. tried to end what wouldn't start. Still your shadow lingered in my heart.
Your shadow lingered in my heart like fireflies too dim to chart. I chased the light but missed the glow of things we had too much to show. I tried to run, I tried to sleep, but you were hidden somewhere deep. You left so soft like falling art,
But your shadow lingered in my heart. I see you in the empty chairs, in sunlit spots and silent stares. The boardwalk still remembers when we carved our names in summer's pen. But time erased what we believed and left me standing here deceived. I walk the beach where we depart. Still your shadow lingers in my heart.
I hear you in the quiet night, like lullabies that held too tight. You haunt the places we once kissed, in every space where you're still missed. I didn't beg, I didn't plead, but silence grows where love should bleed. And though we've lived our lives apart, your shadow lingered in my heart. Your shadow lingered in my heart like music that forgot to start. I turned the page, I changed the tune, but still you rise with every moon. I built new days, I found new skies, but still you echo in goodbyes. No matter how the seasons chart, your shadow lingers in my heart.
Maybe love is not a flame,
Maybe it's just a whispered name,
but you remain in every part, a quiet ghost inside my heart. Your shadow lingered in my heart through summer's end and every start. I couldn't touch, I couldn't hold, but still you shimmer soft and bold. You didn't stay, you didn't fight, but left behind your quiet light. We fell apart, yet never far. Your shadow lingered in my heart. So I'll keep walking through the heat,
with echoes soft beneath my feet.
love may fade, but not the part where your shadow lingers in my heart.
You traced your name with driftwood sticks. The letters melted, tied played tricks. We laughed like kids with nothing to. The sky turned soft, the sea turned blue.
Our feet left marks side by side, a map of moments we couldn't hide. No camera caught, no witness near, but the sand still held us here.
The sand remembered us, even now. The waves have washed and years allow the world to spin, the nights to fade. He wore the sun like second skin, and I let go, let summer in. The shells beneath, the sky above, all whispered secrets dressed as love. You said let's not call this goodbye, but silence answered in the sky. You vanished with the dusk so fast, but the shoreline kept our past. The sand remembered us, not the sea. The waves just talk, but let it be. A trace, a touch, a hidden rhyme that's only found when lost in time. It didn't speak, it didn't fade. That sacred space we never made, still buried under dusk and dust. The sand remembered us. Maybe no one else would know how hearts can live in undertow, but I return in dreams so clear, where grains of light still bring you near. The sand remembered us in gold, in warmth too soft and truth too bold. Where laughter lingers quiet deep, and love still breathes beneath the sleep. You're gone, the world has turned and lost, but the sand remembered us. So if you ever wander back, where tide meets time and sky goes black, kneel down and brush away the crust. You'll see the sand remembered us. You didn't have to say a word. The quiet hit harder than I ever heard. Cicadas sang like nothing broke, but my chest was filling up with smoke. You stared out at the ocean line like everything was perfectly fine, but I saw the storm behind your gaze and felt the heat in the words you didn't say. I burned in your silence more than fire, more than sun. Every second stretched like miles underneath what we'd become. You didn't scream, you didn't cry, but your quiet said goodbye. Yeah, I burned in your silence, and you never asked me why. I tried to speak, but you looked away, like the truth might ruin the light that day. Salt in the air, sweat on our skin, but nothing felt warm deep within. We sat on the hood of your old car, so close and still a world apart. The sun trees, but I only felt your distance free. I burned in your silence more than fire, more than sun. Every second stretched like miles underneath what we'd become. You didn't scream, you didn't cry, but your quiet said goodbye. Yeah, I burned in your silence, and you never asked me why. Some breakups aren't loud or clear, they come like heat then disappear, but silence